Hi, I'm Labit, and you're watching Mix the Beat Our Culture. Yeah, I was really close with my grandma. She unfortunately passed a few years ago, but I naming the album after her kind of came towards the end of the album writing process. The song Soul was the last song that I wrote for the album, and the entire time writing the album, I was trying to find that through line of what title would best represent the album. And I realized after writing the song Soul that a lot of what I was writing about in the album, whether it was relationships or, just like adulthood, like just life problems, the through line was I was approaching every situation based on like how she raised me and the lessons that she taught me as a kid. And so I just remember being in her apartment, like after school, she would pick me up in her car and take me home, and we would just talk about life. And I would tell her my problems, as a kid. And I just remember her being so calm and always listening and patient with me. And she taught me just a bunch of good life lessons, like how to be patient and how to see everybody's side, and just be like lead with love and lead with grace. So it felt only right naming the album after her. It took me a long time to write a song for her after she passed. And I'm really happy that when I did, it came so naturally and it felt right. And I felt like I did her justice, hopefully. Hopefully. I would say if I could narrow it down to one word, it would be change. And because I feel like I've just had so many life changes over the past 2 years writing this album, and the album documents just that, of just navigating through life changes. Like I moved in with my girlfriend and we got a dog, and like just normal life things to where I'm so happy that I can like build a life and like start a family and do all of that stuff, but it is very different to how I was living before. And so I hope that this album encapsulates all of that, and not only like romantic relationships, but like friendships changing and all of the normal stuff that I feel like everybody goes through at one point or another. And so for me, that's what that album means to me, and what it like really helps me get through a lot of stuff. Ooh, at this moment, uh, I would say the title track really sums up my life right now. The track is called "Stay a While," and it's basically me just wanting to take a beat and like pause life just in general for a second when you're feeling overwhelmed or like there's just so much going on. And so I would say right now, I've never thought about that, so that's a great question. Thank you for asking. Um, but yeah, like that song to me just is it's basically me talking to my partner and basically just asking like or what I would do to stay a while and just like relax and just be in this moment and be present. And I feel like sometimes you can't do that. Like time is, you don't have a lot of time in the day, and that's how I'm feeling currently. Yeah, so they always, especially on this album, it's just been a lot of personal experience, and I'm always writing down in my notes app just random lines that I think of, or like moments of the day even, or even like if I hear a weird sound somewhere, I pull up my phone and hit the voice memo like recording. So that's usually the start of it. I'm also a big guitar guy, and so it starts with me just like playing on the guitar and finding something that speaks to me like subconsciously. If I'm like humming something and I'm like, oh, there's something there, and like I might be feeling this certain way because this is what's happening without me even thinking. So usually that's how it starts, and then I bring it to somebody that I feel like can help me push through the final stuff. So yeah. I think it's amazing. I still can't wrap my head around it completely. I'm really excited to go to the Philippines now, and I think I'm just very thankful for all of it. Because if you were to tell me, you know, like high school me, that the Philippines is a big area to where people are listening to my music, I would have been like, what are you talking about? You know, how? um, and so, yeah, something that I'm very grateful for every day. I think I just try to be as authentic as possible with everything, and I know that some of my music is on one side of the spectrum and the other is on the other side, meaning like I have a lot of stuff that's very calm and easy to listen to, and then I have more energetic stuff, like some like house influences or like pop punk influences. Like all of my the music comes from a bunch of different sides of music that I listen to, and I feel like the way to make it all work cohesively is just making sure that the story itself and the song itself is coming from an honest place. And so I just try to lead with that as best as I can. I think the biggest thing is kind of what I was saying earlier. Like there's so many things that just people go through in the day to day. And I feel like it's comforting to know that everybody goes through similar things. And the thing that I learned the most was just like how much you can rely on how you were raised and like the lessons that you were taught as a kid. And they just like that happens subconsciously already, like, you know, when you decide anything during the day. But just being aware of that and like trying your best every day to like be better than you were the day before. And that's really all you can do. And, you know, you can go down the rabbit hole of overthinking things. You know, I'm a big, like, that's just what I do on the daily. But what brings me some sense of peace and calm is just stripping it down to the basics and trying to do my best and like just trying to be like make the right decision every day. And like that's all you can do, and just kind of build more of those days than negative days. Mangoes. It just reminds me of my childhood. And I think I cheated because I literally have a song called Mangoes and Rice. So, yeah. Music wise, I'm in the process of discovering that out myself, which is a really exciting thing for me, especially coming off this album. I'm really proud of this album, but I also feel like now I can kind of do like I really want to dive into something that I haven't tried before. So I'm not sure if I can really speak on what that is yet, but I know that I just want it to feel like a new evolution of myself. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you so much for listening to my music and listening to this new album, Soul. And I hope at least one song resonates you. I hope you find something in there that really makes you feel seen or hits you in a way, you know, that's special. And that's all I can ask for. I've kind of done my work with the songs, and now the best part is happening to where everybody can listen to it, and I just hope that it resonates with you. Socials, you can find me on Instagram. It's at Labit. TikTok, the same thing. YouTube, Labit. Everything's under Labit. So follow me, say hi, please. I reply to everybody.